We got a lot of basketball to get to in just a bit, and so we are taking you to Gainbridge Fieldhouse this morning because we're rooting for the Fever. Very soon, we'll tell you about that playoff push and what needs to get done very soon so then to stay alive in the playoffs. It is 6 o'clock. We're glad you're up with us here on a Tuesday morning, and we hope that you're in the mood to be rooting on the Fever very soon.
We hope so. Hey, we are just proud and impressed of our Fever to make it into the playoffs, considering the rough season they had with injuries.
Yeah.
But they still pulled it off, so we've got to root them on tonight. It's a red out, by the way. We'll hear more on that in just a moment. And if you're headed to the game, no coats, no jackets, no rain.
No rain.
Got it. Okay.
Just a lot of good vibes.
Yeah.
And hopefully a big win.
A big win.
Yes. And you get a red shirt, too, because they're putting them.
They'll be on your seats when you get there if you've got tickets to the game.
I think it's going to be a good one. You don't have to worry about the weather. You just worry about the Fever and rooting them on. That's what we're talking about.
We're warming up again today.
Yes.
Okay.
Again. Over and over and over again. Summer is here. We still have 6 days left of official summer. So we're squeezing it in as much as possible, especially remember we had kind of a cooler late August, early September, but summer's back saying, hey, I took a break for a second, but coming back in a big way. This morning, it is a comfortable start. That's the nice thing about this time of year when the humidity is not so high. It's actually really low. We can have cool mornings and then pleasant evenings. It's just there in the afternoon. It surprisingly gets hot, and your car probably gets hot. You're trying to get in it after work and after school. You notice it a big way. But we'll have mainly clear skies, just a few high thin cirrus clouds coming overhead, actually coming in from the east this morning. They're too thin to produce any rain, and the sun will still come right through those. But that may be something a little different you notice in that eastern sky where the sun is actually rising. Right now we're at 63 in Indianapolis. Very light northeast winds. We'll have them up to about 10 miles per hour today. Maybe instead of being 89 like we were yesterday, we'll be about 87, 88, but it will be a toasty school day forecast. Nice, comfortable start as you're headed out the door. It'll be warm for recess. It'll be kind of hot in the pickup line and also a little bit hot for the afternoon, evening practices. But coming up, we will talk about our next front and maybe when it could kind of clear out the air, get the stagnant air out of here, and maybe give us some rain chances and some cooler air. In the meantime, we got to get you prepared on the northeast side, Lindsay.
Hey, we're gonna go downtown now. Sorry, I didn't tell you. Yeah, I'm switching it up because we've got some new information on West Street. As we know, earlier this summer, crews started that big repaving project on West Street because when they were redoing the North Split, that alternate route was these downtown city streets, and DPW was gifted this NDOT repaving to thank them for allowing the city to use these streets while the North Split was getting redone. So now we're in the process of making sure West Street is updated. So this is the ramp off of 65 that will take you down to West Street right here. Just south of here is where they're going to start this paving project. And it's going to be during the day, and it's going to be mainly at the intersections. So between 11th and Morris Street, between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m., there's going to be some lane restrictions in place while they do work to even out some of those paving operations they've already done. This is expected to last now through the end of September, and then hopefully we'll be done with that revitalization of West Street downtown. Guys?
All right, Lindsay, looks good. Thank you. Well, today, the suspect accused of murdering conservative activist Charlie Kirk will be formally charged. In just a few hours, in fact, he'll make his first court appearance in Utah.
22-year-old Tyler Robinson is accused of shooting Kirk at that campus event at Utah Valley University last Wednesday. That shooting prompting a massive wave of reaction across the political spectrum.
That's right. So both good and bad, depending on your politics. On the state level, though, we're also seeing fallout play with stern warnings from political leaders.
Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is now taking action on critiques posted online that he deems disrespectful regarding the assassination. Let's get to Marina Silva here in studio explaining what we know so far about this. Good morning, Marina.
Well, good morning. Now, if you're an educator and you post something online criticizing the death of Charlie Kirk, Attorney General Todd Rokita says he will actually post your comments for everyone to see as long as he can vet it. He's using the Eyes on Education portal, which is something that allows parents and concerned citizens to submit social media posts from educators where they find those posts concerning. But as the country is focusing on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the AG is using that portal to encourage Hoosiers to submit things they find online. And again, if he can vet it, he's posting it for people to see. The ACLU of Indiana says public employees' speech outside of work is protected by the First Amendment.
The question when it comes to public employees and free speech is not the content of their speech, not whether we like what they say, but are they in line with what the Supreme Court has said? They're speaking outside of work, and they're not speaking in their professional capacity. They're speaking on an issue of public interest.
So just this week, a woman that's working at the Department of Child Services, she lost her job over a comment made online where the department deemed it, quote, poor taste. We also know employees at Danville Community Schools and Ball State University are being investigated over comments they made online as well.
And you shared this already, that this is not necessarily a new portal there.
Correct.
Yes.
The portal itself isn't new, but the way it's being used, this is something new that we're seeing from the Attorney General.
But such a fine line there on First Amendment and free
Exactly,
speech.
and a lot of people are looking at that.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Marina. Appreciate that. Well, a man is under arrest this morning in connection to a deadly shooting that actually happened last year. Metro Police say they finally picked him up during a weekend traffic stop. This shooting happened in October of last year. 2 people are now accused of robbing and killing 26-year-old Jose Hernandez on Indy's South Side. The second suspect, 33-year-old Brittany Norton, is charged with murder, robbery, and prostitution.
Happening today, a father is set to appear in court after his 2-year-old daughter accidentally shot and killed herself. Police believe this happened on the city's near North Side in July. IMPD says that 2-year-old Harmony Anderson was taken to Methodist Hospital after she was shot, but she died. 23-year-old Leonte Anderson is charged with neglect of a dependent, resulting in death. In August, U.S. Marshals and officers with the Chicago Police Department found Leonte and arrested him then. He is due in court today for a bail review hearing.
Well, a former corrections officer at the Indiana Women's Prison was just sentenced to 11 years in prison after being found guilty of raping an inmate. So we know his name is Ozu Chokuwu Chenwizi. He was charged with rape and sexual misconduct. Investigators say the crimes happened in 2023 at the prison, just 3 weeks before Chenwizi's final day of work.
Your time is 6:07. A mall on the far east side of Indianapolis is in need of some retail therapy of its own.
It sure is. So it may finally be getting that. So people living near Washington Square Mall really have complained about its condition for years. And now we just received Marion County court documents that show the health department has even found multiple violations in the building.
Those include the leaky roof and ceiling damage, inadequate air conditioning and heat, and 2 outdoor violations for high weeds and grass and trash.
So property manager Keith Lee Jr. says the property owners, Durga Property Holdings, inherited those problems when they purchased the mall in 2019.
Countless problems since we've had the property. I mean, a lot of them things that we did take care of over time, it just kept getting worse and worse.
So City County Councilor Michael Paul Hart says fixing the mall was really one of his primary reasons he ran for office. He says he has tried but has not made contact yet with the property owners.
So he says he's now reaching out to possible developers about buying the mall. The current owners, though, are due in court this week, Thursday. Well, Franklin Township school leaders are now voicing their support for a proposed Google data center.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
We want it, we don't want it, we want it, they don't want it. So initially they did express they were opposed to this project, but now the superintendent says the city and Google are working as partners to move forward. He acknowledges some community members are still concerned about the build, but ultimately it comes down to money.
A statement from the superintendent says, in part, the agreement reached with the city of Indianapolis and Google ensures that fair property tax revenue flows to our schools. So that means that this project strengthens school funding and those dollars benefit students and teachers.
For months, residents really have rallied against this project, going to meetings and posting signs and rallying outside of buildings in that city. At least 15 city county councilors, they've also come out and voiced their voices against it.
Now, if that number holds, it could sink the plans for this altogether. But again, it seems like the plot is thickening now. We'll find out when the council votes next week.
Well, the Indiana Fever are back at home for the second game of the playoffs. They are playing again the Atlanta Dream at 7:30 tonight.
We hope to shatter their dreams because this is a must-win game for the Fever. or we're out of the playoffs. Let's get to Anna Chalker, who is live at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Good morning. I like the red for the red out tonight, right?
Hey there, good morning, ladies. I had to go all out for the red out. We've got a full red suit this morning. We're ready to go because we are ready for game 2. We want that win tonight. We've got GM, Chief Operating Officer Amber, with us this morning. Good morning. We've waited 9 years to have a home playoff game. I'm sure it just feels surreal to be here in this moment.
So excited for our team. They worked so hard all year. We've had a lot of adversity, ups and downs, injuries, but here we are in the playoffs and couldn't be more excited to celebrate this first home game in a lot of years with our fans tonight.
And how are we celebrating with them? We know we've got a free pregame party ahead of time. I mean, it's just going to be a full day of celebration for this team in the moment that they got to today.
It really is. Starting at 5 o'clock out on the plaza, we'll have games for the kids. We've got a live band. Of course, the basketball court will be open if people want to shoot hoops beforehand. Then we've got some great entertainment in the game as well. It's a red out. We've got Winona Judd for anthem. We've got DJ Cool at halftime. Tickets are still available, so we encourage fans to hurry up and pick those up. They won't be there for long.
Hey, for sure. Thank you so much. We'll be chatting more with Amber throughout the rest of the morning because we know how big this game is, even though, you know, if they happen to lose, which we don't want that, we know it's still a big game for the Fever tonight. So we'll be having more coming up at 6:30.
Hey, don't be saying that L word this morning. Thank you, Anna. We'll see you soon.
Definitely not happening. All right. Well, hey, the digital thieves, they have a new target this morning. We'll tell you what SNAP recipients need to know to keep those benefits safe.
And a Minnesota school is reopening. It's been nearly 3 weeks since that devastating shooting. How a man who's walked a similar path is helping that community begin to heal.